Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to Open iOS. Boom. And today, we're going to take a look at L2 Aura by Aurora DSP. So let's oge. Just a little impersonation there of Marcel Marceau to kick off the show. What do you think? My name is Jade, and this is How to Open iOS. All right, hope you're doing okay. What is going on? The things we do. Today we're getting back old school and we're doing a live demo. We're doing a couple of them this week because I was moving house and had a week off and fell a little bit behind. But we got some pre-recorded demos coming out this week and a couple of live stream demos to tickle your fancy. I hope you're doing okay out here in the little internet world. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Trimmer Bear. If you're in the chat, say hello or don't. It really doesn't matter. That's all good. We got to get down to it today. I want to kick off things by saying a couple of quick things. I want to thank these guys at Phone Touch. Do I have an overhead shot? I do. I have an overhead shot. Phone Touch. Thank you guys for helping me out yesterday. I have been carrying around this wonderful little iPhone SE2 since 2020. And it has served me very well. I used to get every iPhone that came out every year for a long time and then just stopped doing it around 2020 because I don't really use these the way I used to. I used to use these to make music and a lot of stuff. I really just use it as a phone these days. The iPad Pro does all the heavy lifting for creativity and stuff for me. So when my microphone stopped working in this, I was pretty upset because I use it for a telephone and for Clubhouse pretty much these days and surfing and searching and all that kind of stuff. So the microphone went. It looked like I was possibly going to have to buy a new iPhone, but these guys at Phone Touch yesterday, quick fix, they replaced the part and it's working good as gold for like, I don't know, a bazillionth of the price of having to get a new iPhone. So that was very lucky. Secondly, before we move on with the demo today, soundproofing should be here this week. We should have a new look. All the for soundproofing foam should be up in the next day or so. That's very exciting. Nailing things into the wall. I'm going to cover how I did it and all that stuff because there's a method, and there's lots of methods out there to attach soundproof stuff to your wall or sound resistance or, you know, for reverb and such. And yeah, there's ways to do it that will not ruin your wall. So it is important to do that. And we'll be covering that here on the channel. But today we are going to be taking a look at L2 Aura Leveling Amplifier by Aurora DSP. So let's oge. Okay, so L2 Aurora by Aurora. It's a very confusing because it's Aura Leveling Amplifier by Aurora. There you go. Say that really quickly. Is available on the App Store for $7.99. I did mention it during the last update show because it was on sale, but it just went off sale. So hopefully you got a chance to get it while it was on sale, but it is $7.99. It works on all your iOS devices and also works on Mac. So if you have an M series Mac, it should work absolutely fine. Using it that way, not a problem whatsoever. What is it, I hear you ask? Well, ultimately, it is a compressor, and we're going to talk about what kind of compressor it is. Hello, Mateusz. Hope you're doing okay. So it is based off a very old school and very used, very highly acclaimed compressor. It is based off the LA2A leveling amplifier, which was created in 1965 by Teletronics and still used to this day by many people Many artists have used this. I'm pretty sure even Alanis Morissette used this on her vocals for her debut album, Jagged Little Pill. So, you know, it's been used on a lot of high quality stuff. It is a tube-based compressor. It uses, now let me try to see if I can get this right, electroluminescent. It has an electroluminescent panel with a cadmium sulfide light dependent resistor, which in the LA2A's own terminology is called the T4 cell. So this is different than a FET compressor, but we're going to talk about a FET compressor as well, because the 1176 and this have been used in tandem for many years, and I'll explain why. Hello, Dynamite Throw. So it's a tube-based compressor. Now, it's a little bit interesting because of its controls. It doesn't really have the same controls as you would see with a standard compressor. It doesn't have a ratio, doesn't have attack or decay. The LA2A has simple controls, peak reduction and a gain. That's it, pretty much. So it also has limiting capabilities, but for the most part, you'll be using this as a compressor. So the gain control for makeup gain and a limit compress switch, which alters the compression ratio. Now, all of this is under the hood. I think this is why this compressor is so, what it does is very specific. What do we say here? So the average attack time is 10 milliseconds, while the release time varies. It is about 60 milliseconds for 50% release and 0.5 to 5 seconds for full release, but that is depending on the previous program material. So yes, as you can see here, recording engineers have used this. Joe Barresi, Mike Klink, Tony Mazzaretti, used on Alanis Morissette's vocals in Jagged Little Pill, Kurt Cobain on Nevermind, Shakira's vocals on Hips Don't Lie. So this thing has been used on many. It's had many big artists. It's had many software iterations, and Aurora DSP have jumped in and thrown their hat in the ring to give us a version of it on iOS. Interestingly enough, facts here. So it was sold. The Teletronics was actually sold, and it was purchased by the guy who was behind the 1176 peak limiter. So this ended up, both of these ended up in his hands, and they are used. If you troll the internet, troll YouTube, you'll find a lot of recording engineers use both of these in tandem, and we'll do that today because we have a version of this on iOS also. Alrighty, so we'll jump in now. I'm pretty sure, just going back over here, the average of the ratio is around 3 to 4. So that's, you can't change any of that. It is around 3 to 4. And the thing about this is there's a very slow attack on this. So let's jump in now. I've got 3 examples to run through today. This might not be a really long show because it's a compressor, you know. Now, why do we use compressors? Let's talk about that briefly. This is really good. The 3 main uses I recommend this for is absolutely first, vocals. This is great for vocals. Really good for bass because the thickness of this compressor, why the original hardware was used, it's just got a really meaty thickness that comes from it. And acoustic guitars, really good for acoustic guitars, but fantastic on vocals, as you're going to see. The idea of a compressor is when you have a very dynamic vocal take and you see the waveform, you'll see lots of quiet parts and then there'll be lots of big parts like this, and you want to bring those loud parts down and you want to bring those softer bits so they kind of meet in the middle, right? If you overdo it either way, what's going to happen? It's going to get over compressed and pump. And if you do it, so you want to just kind of, you don't want to overdo it. You want to make it as transparent as possible. Another good thing to remember with vocals and using a compressor is you don't want to use it to like blow up the sound in volume. You want to get your volume for your vocal track, get the volume so it sits in the mix already nice, and then you want to add this compressor and you want it to be as transparent as possible. So it's doing the work compressing and just bringing everything, those peaks down a little bit and the lower bits up a little bit, and it's staying around the same volume. I know a lot of people use a compressor and just pump up the volume and it makes it a whole lot louder, and it's like, oh, it's louder, it's better. But transparency is the best way to go. We're just trying to even the sound out so it sits in the mix nicer. That's essentially what compression is about. It's not too hard, right? The thing is, you don't want to overthink compression and sit there and, I know it's very boring compression for a lot of people, probably because a lot of people don't fucking understand it. And that's true. So we'll open a project over here, and I think I'll start with this one. Just let me find it. I did have it here. We're going to start with this Dread Circus demo. So these aren't full takes that are going to be used properly in a song. These are rough vocal takes, but you can see with them that the dynamic range, you can see here, let's zoom right in on it. You can see it's really low here at the start in this take, and then we've got these really loud peaks up here. We want to bring those down a little bit and bring these up to meet it kind of in the middle. That's the whole purpose of this. But we want to set the volume for it first, so let's make sure our track's selected. I've already got an instance of it. It's turned off. So we'll have a listen to this vocal in the mix, and we want to just make sure it's sitting okay first. Okay, well, let's stop it there. Now you can hear, without any compression or anything like that, this wavering. Now you've got a VU meter over here to watch, and you see when it hits this really loud note here, it really peaks out. It really gets loud up here. So we'll just play it back again. It's pushing me out of my mind. Long ago I should have died. And you can really hear that's it's not acceptable. Now, I chose this track because this is only a demo vocal take. Hello, Ed B Metal. Good to see you. But we want to kind of bring that down. We want to keep the level. We want to keep it all around the same, but we want to keep the dynamics. Of course, we want to keep the dynamics, don't we? We have to do that. So let's open up our L2. And here are the controls. As I said, you've got a gain over here. Right, so this is the overall gain. Now, when you first load it up, let's just load up a new version. We'll delete this. So you get to see what it looks like when you first open it up. There you go. So it's normally set between around 25. This is your gain. So this is your makeup gain. This is what you're putting back into the level. So once you can add your compression, and here is your compressor over here. This is your peak reduction. So bring down the peaks and use bring our lows up. Our gains will bring that back here. Over here you have an output that is -10 and an output +4. You can use that. That's cool. If you want, do that. Or I'm just going to leave it in the middle. Most people are just going to leave it in the middle. You know, you don't have to overthink this shit. Here's where you can decide if you want to use your limiter or your compressor. You've got a dual mono or stereo over here. I'm just going to leave that. We're going to leave it on compressor. I'm not even really going to focus on the limiter today because, as I said, most people just use this for exactly what it does. So let's make sure it's on, and we'll solo the track, and you'll hear how terrible this take is. Oh, there goes my mood again. Just pay attention to the volume. Mood swings I cannot handle. So when I turn that on, beyond my control, it's pushing me out of my mind. You can hear it's already adding volume to it. We don't want to add volume to it. That's not what we want. So I'm just going to bring this down a bit so we can see the vocal. Bring it back here. And what are we going to do? We're going to check out this meter here. I am going to come in here and we're going to pull this down a little bit. Going to pull the output gain down a little bit. Oh, there goes my mood again. Mood swings I cannot handle, beyond my control. It's pushing me out of my mind. Long ago I should have died, contemplating on a life. Had enough, now stop the ride. Oh, unalive. So I've pulled this makeup gain down fairly low over here, but you can see this thing working. Just going to bring this back again. Again, I'm trying to keep it around the same level, but what we're trying to fix is these parts here, these parts that are getting loud. So we want them to stay around the same kind of area. Let's hit play again. This is off. Oh, there goes my mood again. Mood swings I cannot handle, beyond my control. It's pushing me out of my mind. Now, when I said there's a slow attack on here, watch also when it decays. The decay is really, it takes a long time. And you can see that by this meter. When it kicks in, it pulls back. So it's telling you it's bringing those peaks down, the peak reduction. And then watch how slow it is to come back down, yeah? Long ago here it is. I should have died. After the note. Ooh. Contemplating really slow release. Turn it off again. Had enough, now stop the ride. Oh, unalive. It's pushing me out of my mind. Long ago I should have died. So you can see what it's done there. When we hit that really loud note, it's really only rising above. It's brought everything down and brought everything up. So very minor tweaks, right? It's only a little bit louder. So you want it to be as transparent as absolutely possible. Let's hear how it sounds in the mix. Just again, don't overthink it. Don't sit here and be turning stuff forever and I'll just keep going and go. Simple, 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 simple. So, well, hey, Ed, did I say Ed Zielinski? G'day, g'day. Let's hear it without. Oh, there goes my mood again. Mood swings I cannot handle, beyond my control. It's pushing me out of my mind. Long ago I should have died, contemplating on a life. Had enough, now stop the ride. Oh, unalive, unalive, unalive. So definitely sitting nicely in there, and the warmth of those compressors just giving it just that little bit of a mum, whatever that word means, but that's what it does. There's so many compressors out there too, decision fatigue, and just when you think you've figured out, you see a video how you should be using multiple compressors. Yeah, look, multiple compressors are a good idea. I'm going to do that with these two. This is, again, like I said in the start of this video, a long-standing thing for many studios has been using the 1176 and this to clean things up. The 1176 gives you the power to have a much faster attack, right? And just hit things a bit faster. And then this is a nice little polisher on the end. Of course, remember, you can find inside of Logic now, you know, I'm not an app salesperson. Remember this. I try and always make this point. Apps aren't Pokemon. You don't need them all. This is a really, really good app. This is, you know, there's no denying that. I'm not short selling it or anything, but a lot of these tricks and stuff you can achieve with the compressors that you get in Logic, right? You're not going to get that all the same harmonics and all that stuff because they're all a little bit different. It's all to your taste. Like, ultimately, that's the thing. Does it sound good on the song? Right? If you're using a Logic compressor and it sounds good, that's the one you use, isn't it? Right? Use what you've got. Use what works for the song. Always. Let's hear this second part. Hey, Jerry. Hope is gone, yeah. A total loss of happiness beyond your reach, child. Nothing left but never-ending rest. Oh, mood swings seem the best. Time to leave behind all the rest. Long ago I should have died, contemplating on a life. I reckon that sounds really neat. And as you saw, I did practically zero to it, but it just brought down those peaks enough. And, you know, it's going to stay nice and dynamic in the mix. And, I mean, why do we do it? Why do we add compression to something like vocals like this? Because when you get your overall mix and you're adding volume each time, you're adding EQ to each track, it's all volume, 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 volume. And then you have some kind of peak that pokes out inside your vocal track. It's going to be poo. It just is what it is. All right, so we'll jump over to another project and use it on there. Again, we may cut short this demo today. Hey, SG Experiment. Look, I think this is really good. It's nice to have an L2 L2A2 on here. So, I mean, it is one of the standards. So it's nice to have this one on here. Well, let's get out of this project and see if I can find. Let's go with someone we know, Pete Johns. Let's throw something on one of his tracks because I've got this Lot to Learn by Pete, and he's already got a compressor on here, and we're going to see what we can do with Pete. So you can see, look at Pete's take here. Immediately, he's already got the compressor on in his mix. What's he got in here? So we'll unsolo this. You know this song. You would have heard it if you follow Pete. 2, 3, 4. To the level of Pete's vocals. I got a lot to learn. So immediately that compressor that he's got on here, hey, that's nice, but when he hits those peaks at the end there in this vocal, it's really popping out of there. It's really popping out. Let's try replacing it. The beautiful thing about Logic is we can just hold down and replace this with L2. And we'll see what we can do with these vocals. I'm just going to solo this. Again, we don't want it to be loud. We don't want it to be any louder than what's already there. We just want it to like bring those bits down because they're a little bit insulting to our ears. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, not a jolly bean? Let's play this. Don't need no crashes on my launch pad. Turn it on and off. Don't need no coffee for my cream, no, none for me. Don't need no hunches on my head buzz. Sometimes I get so chill, I just think I might scream. And I know I got a lot to learn. Oh.
to learn.
We can hear Pete breathing. It's quite creepy hearing Pete breathing, isn't it?
I got a lot to learn.
So we can see it working overtime for Pete's vocal there.
Don't need no rings upon my finger.
Come back.
I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to learn. Headphones. Sometimes I get so chill, I just think I might scream. And I know I got a lot to learn. Don't need no rings upon my finger. Don't need to work them to the bone. No. Don't need to speed out on the highway. I stay at home 'cause I'm a grown ass man, you know. And I know I got a lot to learn. Don't need no coffee for my cream, no, none for me. Don't need no hunches on my headphones. Sometimes I get so chill, I just think I might scream. And I know I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to learn. Don't need no rings upon my finger. Don't need to work them to the bone. That's a big no. Don't need to speed out on the highway. I stay at home 'cause I'm a grown ass man, you know. And I know
Oh, we got a CPU overload. Nice one. Thanks for that, Logic. All right. Relax. Let me close some shit. All right. We good now? Are we friends? Hey. I'm not freezing anything. Pete? Oh, man. We'll try that again. I did have a lot of shit open there. I was doing some shit. I was working on some stuff last night. Come on, open up for us. That's what she said. What have I killed Pete's? There we go. We're back. All good. But you'll notice now with this, our levels are kind of still very dynamic. Right? But I've got a lot to learn are still around the same level, you know, they're still bouncing around. Again, you don't want to squash it, so it's all just sitting. You don't want to brick wall limit it. It's got to have dynamics still. So that's the thing. That's why you'll hear a lot of people talk about transparent compression. You don't want to squash all the dynamics out of it. You can do that. I mean, that is a trick that a lot of the producers do to really get the vocal to cut through. It depends on the song, doesn't it? Everything depends. It's kind of sort of maybe, you know what? However, hey, cover by CQ. Good to see you, Chris. But automatically, let's come back here, pump it up.
don't need no graduates on my launch pad. Don't need no coffee for my
We're averaging around up here, where my mouse is.
on my headphones. Sometimes I get so chill, I just think I might scream. And I know I got a lot to learn.
So he's got another really loud bit over here too. Let's go over to this one. This is that last. We'll just tap over here. Hey Cam G mate, hey, you like my new studio G mate? I don't even know if I should. Look what's in the middle at the top of the. Have I already pointed this out? I probably have. I've got a shit memory, but my jammy's up there, man. Oh yeah, I already did because yeah, you said you're going to send me another one. I forgot. My brain, it's so screwed. All right, so let's bring it all back in because Pete's got more vocals in here, and I've muted them all. So let's bring them all back in and hear how they go. Are these all? What are all these bits I've soloed here? I'm sure there were more vocals in this. Maybe it's just. Hang on. This is an old version of Pete's song. Maybe I didn't need to unmute some of these. This power chord one. Maybe we'll keep those muted. Let's go up here.
Don't need no graduates on my lunch time. Don't need no coffee for my cream, no, none for me. Don't need no hunches on my headphones.
So he's got a double track.
Sometimes I get so child, I just think wanna scream. And I know I got a lot to learn.
Anyway, you get the idea. Now this, I forgot, this take here, this was the unfinished vocal and stuff. So this was just my version. I had to do drums. So I don't have the finished one. So there you go. But let's bounce. We've got our halfway point. We'll do run our ad and do that every day on the show. Run an ad. If you want to avoid the ad, you can become a YouTube Premium subscriber or just skip it. We'll wait for you to come back. Ad has been run. And while we're waiting, tomorrow, finally, man, I'm very excited. We're taking a look at this tomorrow. Arguments by Audio Thing. We're doing a live demo of this. Why? Because I just want to have some crazy apeshit fun live with this. And I started doing a pre-recorded demo of it, and it was just, there's too much fun to have with this app. It really is just wild. And it just didn't feel right doing a pre-recorded paint by numbers kind of thing, you know what I mean? So we'll take a look at this tomorrow. It's just fucking crazy, the shit you can do with it. Also, we're continuing on this week before Thomas Christ's U-Rock. We're back working on Metheus. We're going to be doing vocals here on Wednesday, US UK time, probably a 2-hour stream. And we're going to have all our soundproofing behind us as well. Hopefully, it all is done by then. And we're going to do some vocals because, well, I'm in a new house. I don't have neighbors glued next to my wall. They're far away. At 8 in the morning, I can do death metal growls and I don't care about it. So that is happening over the next couple of days. And also keep your eyes on the channel because there'll be a couple of pre-recorded videos up for Soundbox. And you're not going to want to miss Soundbox. It's just, it's such a good app. Okay, let's bounce over here. We'll do our last demo. And I'm going to use the song I started work on during Songtember with Viv Sparrow. She currently has the track and she's still getting vocals ready for it. It's all still happening. And you'll notice when we open this up, I have Hornet H76. Now this is, I did a show on this app. This is the 1176 compressor that is often used in tandem with our good friend L2. So we're going to try using this. So let's play part of the song for you.
There's something inside of
the Urban. So you can already see this compressor's working pretty hard. We've got a fast attack going on here, bit of a slow release happening. So I'm going to show you how in tandem this can work with our L2, because these work together, as I've mentioned a couple of times. So we're going to throw this in here as well. And now this is only on the main vocal. And you can see this is a very dynamic vocal take, but it has some peaks on a lot of the notes at the start that we might want to just kind of reel in a bit. Yes, yeah. So let's hear it just with the Hornet.
There's something inside of me and you we can't control even if we...
So you can hear immediately it's quite transparent in itself. There's not a lot of volume coming out of it when I turn it on and off. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to pump up the ratio a little bit to 12. And I'm going to bring the attack down a little bit.
There's something inside of me and you we can't control even if we choose. It's something more complex than a mood.
So I just took the output down a little bit. Again, I want to make it as transparent as possible, keep it around the same level. And why am I putting such a high ratio on there? Well, we're going to try and balance that out with the L2. So let's go to our L2 down here and turn it on.
There's something inside of me and you we can't control even if we choose. It's something more complex than a mood I cannot explain. Just take a walk in my shoes. There's something more that we can do. Just be yourself and be true. It's nothing special, so there's no excuse. Just go for it, you got nothing to lose.
So I can bring this up now.
I've got...
So this is a pretty hard compression now on here, which is what I actually want on this song. I don't want the other parts to be like that. So let's bring this in with all the parts.
There's something inside of me and you we can't control even if we choose. It's something more complex than a mood I cannot explain. Just take a walk in my shoes. There's something.
Now you should be able to hear in there. That is so. For me, I like that. It sounds good to my ears. It sounds like the vocal sits much nicer in there. Yeah, sounds like it's just sitting in the mix much nicer.
There's something.
Now, in fairness, we've got a double track, but it's a lot lower.
We can't control even if we choose. It's something more complex than a mood I cannot explain. Just take a walk in my shoes. There's something more that we can do.
So I even like that more with a 4, taking it down from a 12. I mean, but this is the thing, it's all stylistic, it's all up to you, it's all in your hands, how much you want it to compress, how tight you want it to be, how much you want it to loosen up. The reason why a lot of, now I'm not an expert, especially on compression, but the reason why a lot of engineers will use the 1176 is just because it has that fast attack at the beginning to just grab on really fast, and you can pull that release back a fair bit if you want as well. Get a nice tight compression on there, and then you've got the smoothness and the richness of the L2A2 to just bring it all home. Again, both of these amps, you can achieve something similar with the stock standard stuff that you can find in Logic or stuff like that. But it's going to be every one of these compressors. I know it's a lot of discussion. You hear about compression and you say, yeah, but there's so many of them. Which one do I choose? And what do I need them all? Obviously, you don't. But some of them just have a flavor, and you're going to find one of them and just go with that flavor, and it's going to be a part of many, many songs. Or maybe it's just for something specific. Like, who knows? Putting a one label on everything is absolutely impossible to do, and that's why there's so much choice. It's just up to you to weed through and find the ones that work for you. Always say this too, don't just watch things like my show. Go and watch some videos on L2A2 compressors, how they use them. There's plenty of people out there who have been doing this in recording studios, who have YouTube channels, and will sit there and explain to you exactly what works behind the scenes of this. And there's quite a few versions of the L2A2 on desktop. You can get this on desktop as well too. As I said, L2 works on Mac on this version, the one you buy for iOS. Plus, if we go over to Aurora DSP's website, which I normally would have this organized, but I don't. And hello to Chris Beats. It's Oj over here if everything's working. We've got plugins. What are we looking for? I guess we can do mix. Would it be under mix? Should be. L2. So I think it is available. Also, yeah, so it's available on desktop as well for $10. There is a demo if you want to try it as well. So it's a couple of bucks cheaper on iOS. I think because you get the M1 or M series Mac option as well for the iOS version, but you can get it on desktop as well. Indeed. So it's got 2 modes, as I said, compression limiter. You can use it as an external sidechain as well too. So if you've got it opened up in something like this, AUM, and you have it open here, so L2, of course, you can run when you hit your multi-bus audio instance. Oh no, it doesn't work that way. I thought it did. I didn't check. $10 is shockingly reasonable, but you can run it as a sidechain as well. Let's close this. What am I doing? This is what happens when you do live stream demos again. It's been a while, folks. So 14-day trial if you want to trial out on your desktop. It is pretty reasonable. I think it's on sale, so it's normally worth $20. But yeah, very simple. Don't overthink it. That's the thing, because that's one of the big draws of this original hardware, is why so many people use it, is it kind of does all the stuff in the background. It's kind of like the modern day version of like a lot of the AI stuff we have these days. It's a piece of hardware that did all the stuff in the background, and you didn't really have to worry too much. It's just a reliable compressor to go to that did its thing. And that's why these compressors that you see names like 1176 and L2A2, why they've been around for so long and why they're being used by so many people is they're fucking reliable. They're big old pieces of fucking kit, and they're tanks, and they do what they do. They do it well. They compress and they last. You know, you could probably drive a truck over them and they last. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff. All right, so as I said, nice and short demo today. Bounce back over here to L2 Aura. I keep doing that. L2. Give me a sec. L2 Aura. So yeah, it's called a leveling amplifier, and that's what it was called when it first came out. You know, $7.99 US. If you're in Canada and Australia, $1 million, because our dollar is worth absolute crap. But as you can see here, it was on sale for Black Friday. If $7.99 is a little bit too much for you right now, just remember, we know Black Friday's finished. There's still some Cyber Monday stuff, some apps still on sale. Go back and watch my update video, which covered nearly everything that was on sale. Remember, Christmas is coming up as well. It's shit. It's not far away. God damn, it's only like 21 days away. So most of the stuff's going to be on sale again. Nearly all of it goes on sale. I can't be exact, but there's that if you want to kind of wait. All right, good stuff. As I said, tomorrow we are jumping in to go and check out Hindbark and Audio Things arguments. It's fun. It's pretty wild. It's nuts. And we'll be taking a look at, I think later today I'll try and get up the video for Soundbox. If you don't know anything about Soundbox, well, you will be hearing a lot about it. You should have been hearing it by now. This is Soundbox. Let's quickly load something up. Oh man, this thing is so neat. I love Soundbox. I don't know, let's go for some of these vocals that we did on the Patreon this week. I've got to make sure everything's connected here. In fact, we did a test on the Patreon to make sure it was all working in AUM, and it is. So we're all good. Let's go. Soundbox. We'll connect a keyboard to it. La 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 la. Oops, we want to input. Let's just have a play of this before we get out of here. Got vocals. Deep Forest vocals. One of my favorites is this cinematic screams. Jeez. This thing is wild. Fuck. Wow. Soundbox is the tits, man. It's so good. What else have we? We'll have a quick play with it. We'll have a quick play with this just for some fun. This is, if I can find it. This is arguments. Oh, you've got to load arguments. So arguments is basically an effect, and just has so many uses. Arguments. So not only can you pump stuff through it, and you've got two. It's like a combining of two tracks. So I'll show you something quickly. Let's just create a MIDI track. We'll throw in some piano. Let's throw in like a piano tech. And we'll do another audio track. And we'll throw in, I don't know, a rhythm or something. Let's just throw in Hammerhead just for the sake of it. And we'll put over here a multi-bus instance of arguments. So it's like side chaining. And we've got to pick something from here, a preset. Let's just do like a factory. And over here, we'll throw in something like a chord bud. Send this to our piano. Right, so what we need to do now is turn down the drums because they're side chained. And now we're just hearing the piano. And we have our argument set to A. If we turn it to B, we got the drums. And then you can combine them. And you've got all of these arguments over here. But not only that, there's a ton of presets. So these are combiners, so you can combine these sounds. So the other cool thing that comes with it is you have a generator as well. So we can open up a separate track over here. We're going to get right into this tomorrow. It's going to be heaps of fun. We can open up an instance of, so you've got to remember to open it up as an effect. We can open up many instances of arguments. And instead of doing this, we can just run a generator. Just for example, let's run a generator preset. The amount of bit crushing, distortion, so this is made, of course, Heinbach's behind this, as well as Audio Thing. And the gear that is used to generate this kind of stuff is made from nuclear testing equipment. So it's fucking, it's just wild. It really is wild. And I can't wait to have a good deep dive into it tomorrow. We've got an hour and 15 on the live stream tomorrow. So there's that. Let's kill it. All right. Thanks for hanging out today. Hope you have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll automatically dump you over to tomorrow's show. If you're interested in coming along, come and join us. I don't think Pete's got a show today, so I'm not dumping you there. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Stay awake and let's OG.